The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has okayed payment of over 9 contested properties earlier frozen. EACC giving the National Lands Commission a go-ahead to compensate the property owners the same amounts it had contested 2 months earlier. This as NLC investigates a list of 330 ghost property owners listed for the SGR compensation at 1.2 billion shillings.
With the SGR Phase 2 at its tail end from Nairobi to Naivasha, EACC has okayed payments from Nkoroi residents whose properties were demolished but payments frozen. The anti-graft body directing NLC to pay the amounts of 9 property owners whose property values had exceeded 10 million shillings. In freezing the payments, EACC and DPP had claimed the amounts had been inflated, prompting NLC to hand over its survey reports for scrutiny. And after its probe, EACC arrived at the same contested amounts.
We've done our best. You remember there were issues of delayed payment, and that is basically we wanted to do our part by carrying out due diligence, which we've done.
Meanwhile, NLC is grappling with a case of 330 ghost owners listed for SGR compensation. With 1.2 billion shillings set aside for this group, NLC is scratching its head on who exactly are the owners behind the shadowy properties listed for compensation.
We again have to ascertain that the ownership. So this one, we have to check it with the land records that you are actually accountable. The ownership of the land is not in doubt. So we have to subject it to further scrutiny, because the question in our minds are, why does it have to take someone not to collect these awards, and yet it comes with a lot of money.
It is the final stretch for the SGR Phase 2A project connecting Nairobi to Naivasha, the giant line already in place with final touches being done. The project, arguably President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy project, stretching 120 kilometers at a cost of nearly 150 billion shillings, is a mega structure with 9 super bridges stretching over 23 kilometers. At the Ongata-Rongai SGR station, final works are in place. The train station taking the red brick color design that borrows heavily from the surrounding Maasai community culture. Symbolic. The shape of the Ngong train station equally full of meaning. Designed at the front like a soaring eagle, highlighted by the wing like strong straight lines. According to Kenya Railways, this is to symbolize the energy of the local community around the area. At the Mai Mahiu train station, the structure takes this design to mimic the mountainous landscape of the surrounding location, mirrored by multiple peaks. It is at the Suswa SGR station that the architectural masterpiece is displayed. Kenya Railways indicating the station's concept was abstracted from the local traditional dances and the rhythm of jumping up in the air when doing their jig.
We've written to Kenya Railways that nothing should stop now the construction of the railways, because having done what we've done. So with the conversation we have with the Kenya Railways, I'm happy to report that the progress in terms of construction is going on very well.
But on ground zero, where the properties used to stand tall, they have been replaced by heavily fortified rail track. While the structure epitomizes architectural ingenuity, just a few meters from the rail track, it has left an eyesore on James Mukora's farm. Nkoroi claiming the Chinese contractor excavated his land for material to be used in the project with a promise of filling up the pit, but left in a half upon completion.
What I have behind me is between a 10 to 15 meter drop. If somebody falls from the top, they're definitely going to break their legs if they don't kill themselves.
Nkoroi now contemplating court action against the Chinese contractor and Kenya Railways for breach of contract. The journey to finish one of the country's most slippery projects, dogged by endless controversy, is near complete. Sam Ogina, Citizen TV, Nairobi.